We like to think of our brains as supercomputers, rational, logical, and objective. But that's a dangerous illusion. A more accurate metaphor is that your brain is running on ancient, buggy software that was designed for surviving in the wild, not for navigating the modern world. To save energy, this software relies on thousands of shortcuts, or heuristics. Most of the time, they work just fine. But often, they result in predictable, systematic errors in thinking. These aren't random mistakes. They are hard-coded glitches in your cognitive programming. And they affect everything, from what you believe and who you trust, to how you spend your money. Today, we're not just going to run a diagnostic. We're going to read the bug report for the human brain and deconstruct the glitches that run your life. This is the master glitch, the one that underpins almost all of our flawed thinking. Confirmation. Bias is our brain's tendency to actively search for, interpret, and remember information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. It's not a passive process. It's an active hunt for validation. Think about it. When you're considering a big purchase, say a new smartphone, what do you type into Google? If you already want the iPhone, you don't search reasons not to buy an iPhone. You search iPhone 17 review, and you subconsciously click on the articles and videos that praise it, while scrolling right past the ones that criticize it. This glitch turns the internet from a source of information into a giant confirmation mirror. It builds personalized echo chambers where our own beliefs are reflected back at us, stronger and louder each time. It's why political debates on social media are pointless. No one is listening, they're just gathering evidence for their own side. This isn't because people are stupid, it's because our brains are fundamentally lazy. Challenging our own beliefs is cognitively expensive. It requires effort and creates discomfort. It's far easier and more neurologically rewarding to simply find evidence that we were right all along. But this comfort comes at the cost of truth. Why are people more afraid of dying in a plane crash than in a car crash, even though driving is statistically thousands of times more dangerous? The answer is glitch number 2, the availability heuristic. Our brains don't make decisions based on data and statistics. We make them based on how easily we can recall an example. And nothing is more easily recalled than a vivid, emotional, and recent memory. Plane crashes are dramatic. They get 24/7 news coverage, and the images are terrifying. Car crashes are common, mundane, and rarely make the national news. So, the dramatic image of a plane crash is more available in our minds, and we therefore overestimate its probability. This glitch completely distorts our perception of risk. It's why people rush to buy lottery tickets after hearing about a big winner, an easily recalled event, while ignoring the astronomical odds against them. In finance, this glitch is catastrophic. After a big market crash, the vivid memory of falling stocks makes investors overly fearful, causing them to sell at the bottom or avoid investing altogether. They're making a critical financial decision based not on logic, but on the emotional residue of a recent scary headline. Your brain is essentially running your risk analysis based on a movie trailer instead of the full script. Have you ever forced yourself to finish a terrible movie just because you already paid for the ticket? Or continued pouring money into a failing business project because you'd already invested so much? That is the sunk cost fallacy in action. Logically, the money, time, or effort you've already spent, the sunk cost, is gone. It should have no bearing on your future decisions. The only rational question to ask is, based on where I am now, what is the best move forward? But our brains don't work that way. This glitch makes us irrationally factor in past investments when making future choices. Why? Because quitting or changing course feels like admitting a past decision was a mistake. It's an admission of failure, and our ego hates that. We think, if I just invest a little more time, money, I can turn this around and justify my initial decision. This is the same logic that keeps people in bad jobs, toxic relationships, and unprofitable investments for years longer than they should. They're trying to salvage the past instead of optimizing the future. Learning to identify and ignore sunk costs is one of the most powerful financial and life skills you can develop. It's the art of knowing when to cut your losses and walk away. This is one of the most fascinating and socially relevant glitches. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias where people with low ability at a task overestimate their ability. In short, they are too incompetent to recognize their own incompetence. You see this everywhere. The amateur investor who thinks they can beat the market after watching a few YouTube videos, the armchair expert arguing with a scientist on Twitter, the terrible driver who thinks they're a Formula One champion. This happens because the same skills required to be good at something are often the same skills required to recognize competence in that area. If you don't know the rules of grammar, you can't spot your own grammatical errors. This creates a strange paradox where the least knowledgeable people are often the most confident. They confidently stand atop what psychologists call Mount Stupid. Conversely, true experts are often more aware of the vastness of their field and how much they don't know, which can lead them to underestimate their own competence. This glitch explains so much about the modern world, from the spread of misinformation to the dynamics of the workplace. It's a reminder to always be skeptical of your own certainty. Confirmation, bias, the availability heuristic, the sunk cost fallacy, and the Dunning-Kruger effect. These are just a few of the dozens of glitches that are constantly running in the background of your mind. You can't uninstall them. They are part of the human operating system. Trying to fight them with pure willpower is like trying to stop a river with your bare hands. So what's the solution? The solution is awareness. It's about learning to recognize the patterns. It's about building systems for better thinking, like deliberately seeking out opposing viewpoints to fight confirmation bias, or looking at the actual statistics instead of emotional headlines to combat the availability heuristic. It's not about having a perfect brain. It's about understanding your brain's imperfections. That's the first and most critical step in debugging your own mind. This process of deglitching is a lifelong practice. Which of these brain glitches do you see most often, either in yourself or in the world around you? Share your observations in the comments below. Reading them helps us all become better at spotting these patterns. If this video helped you understand your own mental software a little better, hit the like button to help more people run their own diagnostics. Thanks for thinking with us today.